Hello po mga kababayan, si Dante Maravillas. Gusto kong i-share ito sa inyo yung mga magagandang balita, lalo na sa ating mga farmers at mga mangingisda. Kasi po, before na lumarga yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kanina para sa ASEAN Summit, nagpalabas ng executive order yung ating Pangulo, Executive Order number 100 establishing floor price for Palay. Marcos sets Palay floor price as farm gate rates fall. Ito'y para maprotektahan mga kababayan ang mga magsasaka laban sa sobrang pagbagsak ng presyo sa merkado at matiyak yung patas na kita. So makikita ninyo mga kababayan ang sobrang pagmamahal ng ating Pangulong Bongbong sa ating mga magsasaka, pati sa mga mangingisda na siyang bumubuhay sa ating bansa po. Kung wala itong mga magsasaka at mangingisda, anong kakainin po ng mga mamamayang Filipino kasama yung mga opisyal ng gobyerno at mga contractors, mga kababayan na ganid? Di ba? Kaya kailangan yung ating mga magsasaka bigyan talaga po ng preferential attention. At ito yung ginagawa ng ating Pangulo para makakain ang lahat at hindi magutom yung ating mga magsasaka. Hindi naman po sila malugi sa kanilang pagtatanim. At ito pa, may utos pang pinalabas yung ating Pangulo kay DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon naman to lower cost of construction materials for the Philippine infra projects by as much as 50%. So that the government can save between 30 to 45 billion pesos. Ito'y matapos na ma-found out mga kababayan ng DPWH that several items like asphalt, steel bar, cement were overpriced by as much as 50%, sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong. This money that we can use for services, this is money that we can use for services tulad po ng health, education, and food na kailangan masyado ng ating mga mamamayang Filipino, sabi ng ating Pangulo. Kaya sabi ng mga mamamayang Pilipino, thanks Mr. President PBBM. Thank you PBBM, ikaw lang ang Pangulo maliban kay Apulakay na nagbigay ng priority sa mga magsasaka at sektor ng agrikultura. Sabi yung pasalamat po nila. Sabi ni Agusan del Sur, ugnayan official, ang pag-angat ng bukid, pag-angat ng buong bansa. Sabi ng United Loyalist Cavite, mabuhay ang administrasyon na may malasakit sa agrikultura. Never ito mga kababayan na isip ni Digong nung Pangulo pa siya. Kay Digong po, bawat okasyon, ang bukang bibig lang niya, tokhang kill. Ay ayun, ang inabot, ICC dahig. Pero tingnan ninyo yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. There is balance sa kanya pong governance. So yung ating Pangulo lumarga kanina para sa ASEAN Summit, ASEAN Summit and related summit sa Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I leave today for Kuala Lumpur to attend the 47th ASEAN Summit and related summits upon the invitation of Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim. This year's chairship is held under the theme Inclusivity and Sustainability, which underscores our shared commitment to a region that is united, resilient, and is responsible for the needs and aspirations of the people of ASEAN. The Philippines fully supports Malaysia's chairship this year and its vision of an ASEAN that promotes meaningful and inclusive and sustainable development. At this summit, I will join fellow ASEAN leaders in reaffirming our commitment to ASEAN centrality as we navigate pressing regional and global challenges, including developments in the South China Sea, situation in Myanmar, threats to regional peace and maritime security, as well as the far-reaching impacts of climate change, economic volatility, and transnational crime. I will continue to champion our advocacies in promoting an open, inclusive, and rules-based international order, and for the peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international law. I will also highlight the Philippines' commitment to rules-based multilateral trading system, a vital compass as we navigate today's complex geo-economic challenges. During these summits, we will also welcome Timor-Leste as the newest member of ASEAN. Further, Malaysia will be turning over the ASEAN chairship to the Philippines, marking the symbolic beginning of our turn as chair. As always, our participation in the ASEAN Summit reaffirms our dedication to deepening regional cooperation and to advancing the well-being of every Filipino in the entire Southeast Asian community. The strength of ASEAN depends in the individual strength and prosperity of its members. Thus, we are strengthening our bureaucracy, making it more responsive, accountable, and transparent in serving Filipino people. The Department of Public Works and Highways continues to review projects and contracts and to file cases against those who have perpetrated corruption. In addition, DPWH has looked into the pricing of construction materials and found that several items like asphalt, steel bar, cement are overpriced by as much as 50%. And actually, there are some egregious examples where it's even more than that. In order to ensure that the costs of DPWH will reflect the costs of the market and to ensure that the people's money is correctly spent, I have directed the DPWH Secretary to bring down the cost of materials by as much as 50%, which will result in savings in the capital outlay, spending of at least 30 to 45 billion pesos. This is money that we can use for services such as health, education, and food that our people desperately need. At the same time, the Bureau of Internal Revenue will recalibrate its priorities and ensure that all those found complicit in the irregularities surrounding flood control projects are held fully accountable under the law. We will uphold fairness in our tax system. We assure our micro, small, and medium enterprises and large corporations who have been lawfully paying their taxes, you will be treated justly. We are just moving the focus from the MSMEs and from the auditing of large corporations. We are moving those efforts towards these questionable projects that we have been able to find. The Department of Finance has also instructed the BIR to look into the possible exemption of certain taxpayer segments from the obligation of withholding and remitting creditable withholding taxes, and the simplification and lowering of the applicable creditable withholding tax rates. With this, we hope to provide relief to majority of our taxpayers burdened by complex tax compliance requirements without revenues to be foregone. In the same vein, and following my directive on providing tax relief to those who need it the most, our employees, DOF and the BIR have submitted proposals for the increase of the ceilings for the tax-exempt minimis benefits. As an example, a uniform and clothing allowance of more than 7,000 pesos per year is subject to tax. Since cost of clothing has risen, we are looking at increasing the de minimis ceiling to 8,000 pesos a year. But these changes are not just about numbers. They are about fairness and dignity in the workplace. Every Filipino worker deserves to benefit from the nation's growth. We hear our people's call for government interventions to lower the price of goods, especially food. We are strictly enforcing and monitoring the implementation of the maximum suggested retail price for imported rice. We continue to make available affordable rice, including the 20 peso rice program. The Department of Trade and Industry continues to monitor and work with the manufacturers to temper prices, especially in time of the holiday season. Through these efforts, we aim to build a future-ready Philippines and an ASEAN that is not only competitive, but people-centered and sustainable. Thank you all very much. Good morning.
Ayan po yung ating Pangulo, yung departure niya. Ayan yung mga reactions po sa naging payag ng ating Pangulo. Sabi ni Marieta, salute to the President, inuuna niya ang kapakanan ng mga magsasaka, mangingisda. Malaking bagay sa mga magsasaka at mga Pilipino, tangkilikin nating produktong atin. God bless PBBM. Tingnan ninyo. This could be the best for me from PBBM if properly implemented, been waited for so long by the Filipino farmers. This will be made the difference. This is the first time that farmers has been given the significance by giving the Executive Order 101 that would certainly benefit them in all the Filipino people. It will make everyone's happy. Everybody happy. Di ba? Mga kababayan, walang katulad po yung ating Pangulo. Malayong malayo yung mga policy ng mga previous presidents ng ating bansa. Talagang si PBBM lang ang sakalam. You see? Kaya malabo yung pangarap ni Sarah. Di ba po, mga kababayan?